Stop. Before you spend another Lincoln wheat penny, you need to watch this. Somewhere in America, old pennies have been quietly sitting in forgotten jars, dusty drawers, family collections, and even everyday pocket change for decades. Most people see only 1 cent, but collectors see hidden pieces of history that deserve a closer look. Today, we're counting down 5 fascinating wheat pennies that have captured collector attention because of their age, history, condition, and unique characteristics. With every coin, the mystery grows deeper, and the final penny is the one you won't want to miss. So grab any old wheat pennies you have nearby, stay with me until the end, and let's uncover 5 remarkable coins that prove America's smallest coin can tell some of its biggest stories. Coin number 1. The moment today's first wheat penny appears, it's easy to understand why experienced collectors never judge a coin by its first impression. To most people, this looks like nothing more than an old 1-cent coin that has spent decades in circulation. But to someone who understands the fascinating world of Lincoln wheat pennies, this small copper coin could represent a remarkable piece of American history waiting to be appreciated. This featured coin is a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark beneath the date. Minted just after the end of World War II, this penny belongs to an era when America was entering a new chapter of peace and rebuilding. Every 1946 wheat penny that survives today has witnessed generations of history, quietly passing through countless hands while carrying a story that stretches back nearly 80 years. Looking closely, you'll notice the coin displays an attractive brown layer across the surface, along with scattered darker dots and brown spotting with a small green area on the reverse. These changes developed over decades of circulation and storage, giving the coin a unique appearance. Natural toning and environmental effects tell the story of where a coin has been, making each surviving example visually different from every other one. Although this penny has clearly seen everyday use, its major design elements remain recognizable. Abraham Lincoln's portrait still holds much of its character, while the famous wheat ears on the reverse continue to frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. Even after decades in circulation, the historic design remains instantly recognizable to collectors around the world. Its circulated condition reminds us that not every collectible spent its life protected inside an album. Many interesting coins earned their place in history by serving their original purpose, moving from one pocket to another, buying groceries, riding in cash drawers, and eventually ending up forgotten inside old jars, family collections, or dresser drawers. This is exactly why experienced coin hunters continue searching through inherited collections and bank boxes. They know that remarkable discoveries often begin with coins that appear ordinary. Before deciding whether a wheat penny deserves special attention, collectors carefully examine the date, mint mark, strike quality, preservation, and any recognized die varieties or mint errors. Sometimes, one overlooked detail becomes the reason a coin attracts extraordinary collector interest. Imagine opening a dusty coffee tin that has not been touched for decades and spotting this 1946D wheat penny among hundreds of ordinary cents. Most people would see only 1 penny. A collector would slow down immediately, pick it up under bright light, inspect every letter, every wheat stalk, every surface mark, and every tiny detail before deciding what they had found. That moment of curiosity is what makes coin collecting so exciting. As for the claimed $237,400 value associated with this coin, it is important to treat that figure with caution. A typical circulated 1946D Lincoln wheat penny does not normally sell for that amount. Prices at this level generally require an exceptionally rare, authenticated mint error, a major die variety, or an elite, professionally graded specimen with documented auction results. Always verify extraordinary values through reputable grading services and recent public auction records before accepting them as market value. If a post-war wheat penny can already reveal so much history and collector fascination, imagine what the next discoveries have in store. The mystery is only beginning, and the most exciting coin of today's treasure hunt is still waiting to be uncovered. Stay with us until the very end, because the greatest discovery may still be just one coin away. Coin number 2. As today's treasure hunt continues, the mystery grows even deeper. The next coin doesn't shine with bright mint luster or flawless surfaces. Instead, it carries something many collectors find even more fascinating: decades of history written across every inch of its copper surface. Sometimes, the most unforgettable discoveries are the coins that look the most ordinary. This is the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the familiar D mint mark beneath the date. Produced during the final years of the legendary wheat cent series, this penny represents an important era in American coinage. Just a few years later, in 1959, the wheat reverse would be replaced forever by the Lincoln Memorial design, making every wheat penny a lasting reminder of a classic chapter in U.S. history. At first glance, this coin immediately reveals its age. A rich brown layer covers much of the surface, while scattered black spots appear across the obverse. Turning the coin over, you'll notice additional black dots on the reverse surrounding the famous wheat ears. These natural changes developed over many decades as the coin passed through countless hands and different storage environments. While such surface changes are not mint errors, they give the coin a unique character and remind us that no two circulated wheat pennies age in exactly the same way. Despite its long journey, this example remains in almost fine condition. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is still clearly recognizable. The date and mint mark remain bold, and the reverse wheat stalks continue to frame the denomination with pleasing detail. Collectors often appreciate coins like this because they preserve both the design and the evidence of a lifetime spent in circulation. But here's what makes wheat pennies so addictive to search for. Millions were produced. Yet, experienced collectors never assume every 1953 with D-cent is identical. Before making any judgment, they inspect each coin carefully for repunched mint marks, die cracks, double dies, striking abnormalities, exceptional preservation, and other recognized collectible varieties. One tiny detail, almost invisible to the naked eye, can completely change the story of a coin. Imagine opening an old family coin album that hasn't been touched since the 1960s. Between ordinary-looking cents, this 1953D wheat penny quietly waits. Most people would see a worn copper coin worth 1 cent. A collector would reach for a magnifying glass, carefully inspect every letter, every wheat stalk, and every edge, wondering whether this forgotten coin holds a hidden surprise. That anticipation is what makes every coin hunt exciting. The Wheat Penny series has inspired generations of collectors because remarkable discoveries continue to appear in inherited collections, estate sales, forgotten jars, bankrolls, and even everyday pocket change. Every coin carries a story, and every search holds the possibility of finding something truly memorable. Regarding the claimed $185,600 market value associated with this coin, it's important to view that figure with caution. A standard, circulated 1953 with D. Lincoln wheat penny would not normally sell for such an amount. Values at this level generally require a major authenticated mint error, a recognized rare variety, or an exceptionally high certified grade supported by professional grading and documented auction results. Extraordinary prices should always be verified through reputable grading services before being accepted. And don't look away now. We've uncovered only 2 wheat pennies, yet every new discovery raises the stakes even higher. The next coin in today's countdown brings another forgotten chapter of American history, and it may reveal a collector surprise that many people have unknowingly passed over for years. The biggest discovery is still waiting just ahead. Coin number 3. Now the treasure hunt takes an unexpected turn. The next coin isn't just another old wheat penny. It comes from one of the most historic periods in American history. Dated 1942, this Lincoln wheat penny was minted during the early years of World War II, when the nation was preparing for enormous change. Every surviving penny from this era is more than a piece of currency. It's a small artifact that has traveled through one of the most significant chapters of the 20th century. This featured example carries no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For collectors, the absence of a mint mark is an important detail to note, and it is always one of the first things checked before examining the rest of the coin. Combined with the date, it immediately places this penny into a fascinating period of the wheat cent series. As you study the surfaces, you'll notice a deep, dark brown layer that reflects decades of natural aging. The reverse displays brown spotting near the wheat ears and along portions of the rim, giving the coin a distinctive appearance that tells the story of many years in circulation and storage. These changes make every surviving example visually unique, reminding collectors that no 2 80-year-old wheat pennies develop exactly the same character. This penny also appears in old circulated condition, showing the honest wear expected from a coin that spent years passing through American pockets, stores, and banks. Even so, Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains identifiable, while the classic wheat stalks continue to frame the reverse design that collectors have admired for generations. But here's where the mystery becomes even more exciting. You mentioned that this coin has an error, and that's exactly the kind of detail that makes experienced collectors slow down and examine every surface under magnification. However, the word error alone doesn't confirm a valuable mint error. Collectors first identify what type of error is present, such as a double die, off-center strike, clipped planche, die crack, lamination error, or another recognized mint-made variety. Without confirming the specific error, it's impossible to determine how unusual or collectible it may be. That careful investigation is what separates casual coin owners from serious treasure hunters. Imagine discovering this 1942 wheat penny inside an old cigar box inherited from a grandparent. To most people, it's simply another old cent with a dark color. But to a collector, it becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. They would inspect the date, the missing mint mark, the lettering, the rims, and every tiny design element, hoping to uncover a genuine mint-made variety hidden in plain sight. This spirit of discovery is why Lincoln wheat pennies continue to attract collectors decade after decade. Millions were produced, yet remarkable finds still emerge from forgotten collections, estate sales, bankrolls, and family coin jars. Every coin has a story, but occasionally one carries a surprise that nobody noticed for generations. Regarding the claimed $362,200 market value, it's important to be cautious. A normal 1942 Philadelphia wheat penny in circulated condition would not typically sell for that amount. Values in that range generally require an extraordinary authenticated mint error, a famous rare variety, or an exceptional professionally graded specimen, supported by recognized grading services and documented auction results. Without authentication, such values should not be assumed. 3 wheat pennies have already revealed remarkable pieces of American history, but the countdown isn't over. The next discovery brings us even closer to today's grand finale, and if you've enjoyed the journey so far, you won't want to miss what's coming next. The most unforgettable coin of today's treasure hunt may still be waiting just ahead. Coin number 4. Now we've reached the point in today's countdown where every new coin feels older, more mysterious, and even more captivating than the last. This 4th discovery takes us back more than a century, to a time when America was living through World War I. Every surviving 1918 Lincoln wheat penny has witnessed generations of change, making it far more than a simple 1-cent coin. It is a genuine survivor of American history. This featured coin is a 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For collectors, early-date wheat pennies always attract attention because fewer high-quality examples have survived compared to later issues. Every year that passes makes these century-old coins even more fascinating to discover. The first thing you'll notice is the coin's rich, aged appearance. The reverse displays a light black and brown layer, creating a deep antique look that immediately reflects its age. Rather than bright copper luster, this penny proudly wears the colors of time itself. Every shade, every mark, and every surface change tells the story of decades spent traveling through pockets, stores, banks, and forgotten collections before reaching today's spotlight. Despite its old circulated condition, the coin still preserves the classic Lincoln wheat penny design. Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains recognizable, while the famous wheat ears continue to frame the denomination on the reverse. For many collectors, this combination of historical age and original design makes early wheat pennies some of the most rewarding coins to search for. But here's what makes a 1918 wheat penny especially exciting. When experienced collectors find an early-date Lincoln cent, they don't stop at the date alone. They carefully inspect every detail under magnification, looking for recognized die varieties, double dies, repunched elements, lamination errors, die cracks, and other authentic mint-made characteristics. The oldest coins often deserve the closest inspection because even a tiny verified variety can dramatically increase collector interest. Imagine cleaning out an old wooden desk that has been in your family for generations. Hidden inside a forgotten envelope sits this 1918 wheat penny. To someone unfamiliar with coins, it looks like nothing more than an old, dark copper cent. But to a collector, it's an invitation to begin a careful investigation, checking every letter, every wheat stalk, every rim, and every design detail, hoping history has left behind something extraordinary. That anticipation is why the Lincoln Wheat Penny series continues to inspire collectors around the world. Remarkable discoveries still emerge from estate sales, inherited collections, bank rolls, flea markets, and dusty coin jars where they remained unnoticed for decades. Every old penny carries a story, but occasionally one carries a surprise that changes everything. Regarding the claimed $260,700 market value, it's important to keep expectations realistic. A standard 1918 Philadelphia wheat penny in circulated condition would not normally sell for that amount. Values in this range are generally associated with exceptionally rare authenticated mint errors, famous die varieties, or elite professionally graded examples with documented auction records. Extraordinary prices should always be confirmed through reputable grading services and verified sales history before being accepted. If a century-old wheat penny has already taken us this far into America's past, imagine what the final discovery could reveal. The countdown is almost complete, and the last coin has been waiting patiently for its moment. Don't miss it, because the crown jewel of today's hidden treasure hunt is about to make its appearance. Coin number 5. We've reached the final chapter of today's hidden treasure hunt. And fittingly, it belongs to a wheat penny that has quietly survived for more than 8 decades. At first glance, this 1940 Lincoln wheat penny may seem like nothing more than an old copper cent with years of wear. Yet experienced collectors know that the oldest coins often tell the most fascinating stories. Long before the modern era of coin collecting exploded in popularity, this penny was already traveling through American pockets, witnessing history unfold one transaction at a time. This featured coin carries no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For many collectors, Philadelphia issues from the early wheat cent series remain an exciting area to study because each coin deserves a careful inspection for its preservation, possible die varieties, and overall originality. One of the most striking features of this example is its rich, dark brown patina, accompanied by a noticeable black dot on the surface. Decades of circulation and natural aging have transformed its original copper color into the deep, antique appearance that many old wheat pennies proudly display today. Every shade, every mark, and every tiny imperfection represents another page in the coin's remarkable journey through American history. Despite its circulated condition, this penny still offers impressive eye appeal. Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains clearly visible, the date is easy to read, and the iconic wheat ears continue to frame the reverse design that collectors have admired since 1909. Rather than hiding its age, this coin wears it proudly, making it feel like a genuine survivor from another generation. But this is exactly where the excitement begins. When an experienced collector finds a 1940 wheat penny, they never stop after reading the date. They immediately examine the mint mark area, inspect every letter under magnification, study the rims, check the strike quality, and search for recognized double dies, die cracks, repunched elements, off-center strikes, or other authenticated mint-made varieties. Sometimes the smallest overlooked detail becomes the reason a seemingly ordinary penny earns extraordinary collector attention. Imagine opening a dusty family coin jar that has remained untouched since your grandparents' time. Among dozens of ordinary cents sits this 1940 wheat penny. Most people would count it as 1 cent and move on. A collector would do the exact opposite. They would slow down, place it beneath a magnifying glass, and begin asking questions that could turn an ordinary afternoon into an unforgettable discovery. That sense of possibility is what has kept the Lincoln Wheat Penny series alive in the hearts of collectors for generations. Every old penny is a mystery. Every search carries hope, and every forgotten coin reminds us that history often hides in the places we least expect. Regarding the claimed $285,500 market value associated with this coin, it's important to keep expectations grounded. A typical 1940 Philadelphia wheat penny in circulated condition would not normally sell for that amount. Prices at this level generally require a major authenticated mint error, a famous rare die variety, or an exceptionally high, professionally graded specimen, supported by reputable grading services and verified public auction records. Extraordinary claims should always be confirmed before being accepted. And with that, our treasure hunt comes to an end. Today, we've uncovered 5 remarkable Lincoln wheat pennies, each carrying its own story of history, survival, and collector fascination. Together, they prove one important lesson. The most interesting coins are not always the brightest or the newest. They're often the ones that have quietly traveled through generations, waiting for someone curious enough to notice them. So before you spend another old penny, take a closer look. Check the date, examine the mint mark, study the condition, and inspect the tiny details. You may not discover a six-figure rarity every time, but you might uncover a fascinating piece of American history that countless others have unknowingly overlooked. If you enjoyed today's treasure hunt, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next rare coin adventure. The next extraordinary discovery could already be hiding in your pocket, your coin jar, or a forgotten drawer, just waiting to be found.